Hey everybody, Joy here. How y'all doing today? What is today anyway? I know it's Thursday, but it's October 19, 2023. So, happy day to all of you. She's just odd all the time. I know, you're right, I am. But yesterday, I had not had any sleep for about 4 nights. 2 of the nights, I have some Ambien, and I get a bottle of 30 Ambien from my doctor, and they last me 6 months. So I don't want to have to take any prescription drugs if I don't have to, especially sleeping pills or tranquilizers. So I try not to take them regularly because I don't want my body to get used to them and then not ever be able to go to sleep. So I didn't sleep all night. Next night, I couldn't go to sleep, so I took one. The next night, I didn't sleep all night. The next night, I couldn't sleep, so I took one. That's kind of the way it goes. And usually, it's like a couple nights a month is how that works. And I have no idea what causes it. If I knew what causes it, I don't ever eat late. I don't eat after 7 p.m. most of the time. I don't eat sugar, a lot of sugar. I don't drink any sugar. And I was taking antihistamine called Zizol, an allergy pill, 24-hour, and I started taking it like at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I thought maybe it would work better, you know, if I had just taken it instead of in the morning. And I thought, you know what, I've taken that for 4 nights and I haven't slept for 4 nights. So last night I didn't take it. I mean, how nutty? How nutty is that? I don't know. Anyhow, I didn't take it. I took a different one. I took my NyQuil, and I slept all night like a baby. So now, that's why I'm so happy. I got up this morning at 6:30, and I was bouncing around the kitchen getting my coffee. And Jerry came out and he said, "Boy, I can sure tell you got some sleep last night." I said, "I know. I can tell I got some too, thank God." So now that I had some sleep, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and Jerry's having his physical therapy, and so he's gone all morning when he has physical therapy days. And so I have been doing this new thing I've started doing. And you're going to think I'm nuts. I told Philly this and I told Jerry this, and they both said they totally understood. I'm getting rid of things that I've had for years and years and years, decorations, things I put on my shelves to decorate with. Used to love them, but now I just want them to be gone because my thinking is I need to prepare for if Jerry dies and even if I die. I mean, what's Jerry going to do with all these goofy knickknacks? Well, they're not goofy. I mean, they were beautiful or I wouldn't have bought them in the first place, but it's just too much. I'm assuming, like most people, when we're in our 80s, and we're even older than we are now, maybe 10 years from now, we're going to want a smaller place. This is a very big house. It's a 2-story house, and it's on 11 acres. And it's a lot to take care of. And we do it. We can do it. We have somebody that mows the lawn. We have a plumber. We have a heat and air man. You know, we have people that do things. But it's still an awful lot the older that you get, and I know many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now let me tell you something else. On these nights I don't sleep. Jerry got up at 3 last night to go to the bathroom, and I said, "Oh, what time is it?" He said 3 o'clock. I said, "Well, I've been awake all night." And he said, "What do you do when you're laying over there all night and you can't sleep?" And I said, "I pray for everybody." So if I know you or your name and you're in any way, shape, or form in my life, and if you're a subscriber, you're in it, you've been prayed for. My kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, all my friends, all the people in Israel, all the people in Gaza, all the people in the United States. I just pray and pray and pray and pray. Jerry got up this morning, like I said, and I was bouncing around all active, getting, you know, cleaning up things and putting things away and organizing. And I went out and I sat down on the Joy couch. It was still dark. Light hadn't even come up yet. And he came and sat down next to me and he said, "Well, do you want to pray together?" And I said, "No, I've been praying all week." Jerry and I are different that way. He likes to get up very early in the morning and he likes to pray then. I like to pray at night when I go to bed. And I pray all day. I pray here in my sewing room. I just pray every time someone comes. Philly, I've been praying constantly for Philly. She's been moving. Oh my goodness, she finally got all moved yesterday into her little apartment. She said she has like a little path that she can go through. And all the furniture, all the boxes, she doesn't have a garage. It's just a one-bedroom apartment, and so everything is in it. And she told me this morning that she has to walk like half a block to her car. Oh, I thought, I just don't know about that, Philly. But she's done moving, and she can get her life all resituated. Another thing I do all night well, actually, last night when I did finally get to sleep, I put this quilt together 85 different ways, all night long. I was trying to put the red house together. The red house has strange measurements, and I'll bet you Edita has fixed hers so it doesn't have these strange ways to put it together. But I'm not as smart as Edita. Of course, I can do the plain rectangles, but the things with the points, I'm going to have to use those templates. And so in my sleep, I cut these templates out, and I cut the red fabric out, and I put that house together 85 times. In my sleep, in my nightmares. All right, so I wanted to talk about the house and the stars. Now, this is the copy I made in Electric Quilt 8. To be like the little quilt of the month by Edita Sitar, who owns Laundry Basket Quilts, and this was her October little quilt. Now, I've quit the club, Philly quit the club, and we got EQ8 because we figured we could just make the quilts ourselves, so I did. Somebody said, what about copyright infringement? I just thought right away, I thought, how could that be possible? How could Electric Quilt put out software with 10,000 blocks in it? All of the blocks probably have been used at some time in someone's quilt. Many of the arrangements of those blocks have been used at some time in somebody's quilt or somebody's class. And you are allowed to sell your quilts, teach the software, whatever. I just don't understand, whoever said that to me, how do you think it could be copyrighted? You couldn't use it for anything. So, you know, tell me some more about that. Because I copied her quilt. Well, I could have copied anybody's quilt. I could have copied a Flying Geese quilt. I could have copied a paper piecing quilt. I could have done anything. And I'm not doing it to sell it. I'm doing it to make it and hang up on my ceiling. So, I didn't really understand the thinking on that. But if for some reason you know more than I do about it, tell me some more, okay? All right, what am I going to do today? I'm going to cut out that red house. Oh, I wanted to show you how I arranged the stars. You know, it has 16 stars, and here they are. And I started out wanting to do pink stars, and then I decided, no, pink stars is crazy. There's no such thing as a pink star, although there probably is. So I decided I wanted to do blue stars, and they're tiny, you know, and there's 16 of them. And I wanted to get all the cutting done ahead of time. So let me show you how I arranged it to take it to my sewing machine. I'm sorry if you can hear the air conditioner running. I can't hear it. I walked over there and I could hear it a little bit, or it could be the refrigerator, but sometimes I'll play back these videos to edit them and I'll think, good grief, the air conditioner sounds terrible. So here it is. These are my, what are they called? I want to say power boards. That's not what they are. What are you boards called? I never can remember. This was one board. And I cut it in half and made it 2 boards a long time ago, and this is what I wrap my fabrics around. It's how I store my fabrics. They're my little fabric bolts. So I arranged 8 stars here and 8 stars here, and you can see they're all blues with white background. And then I'm going to cut out the shapes for the little house, and I'm going to make the house first, just in case I can't do it. I thought, why should I make all of these flying geese if I can't even make the house? So, what are those called? Tell me. Poster board? Poster board. That's close, but they're made out of something. It'll come to me in about 10 minutes. Oh, I hate it when I can't think of things. Anyhow, I use them now like a cookie sheet. I used to use a cookie sheet, but now I use those because they fit better, you know, in the small space next to my sewing machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those templates and cut them out, and I'm going to cut out my red. My house is going to be this color. You see the blue in this print? This is an edited sitar print. See the blue in it? All the fabrics I'm using are edited sitars probably. Oh, maybe not. I got them from, I have a whole bunch of layer cakes, and so I went through my layer cakes, and I thought this would be a pretty house with blue stars around it. I have also the directions to make the block for October for the Season in Blue. Remember her book, A Season in Blue? And I had the rose over there on top of the owls for a long time. I took them down so I could put the owls up. Well, now I've got the directions for October, but you have to put an applique, and I don't own the applique. I had to pay for it, and I'm waiting for it to get delivered. So I'm not working on that right now, and that's how come. I'm going to make a red house. All right, if your lightning fast mind doesn't want to think about it fast enough, sometimes you can find a sticker on one of them. They are called foam core boards. Ta-da! Vivi, this is for you. Vivi thinks I'm such an amazing quilter. I tell you, I started to show her Sharon Chambers quilts one time, and I thought, no, just let her think I know what I'm doing. Look at my house. There's the roof, and there's the bottom of the house. I think this house came from Ripley's Believe It or Not neighborhood. I have to undo something. Okay, it needs to be pressed. I was trying to make a real house people could go in. I thought this was going to be so easy. Forget that. There's about 10 Y seams in here. And Y seams are not that easy. If you mark them, it's doable. But that's my little house. I gotta go to lunch now. Good afternoon, it's Saturday. It's already 2 o'clock on Saturday. Had a fun, long day yesterday with my friend Doreen. She came over and she helped me do my uncluttering. I'm not a real cluttery person, so it's not really uncluttering. It's just, I'm getting rid of lots of things that I don't use anymore. I think I already told you. Like I used to have a lot of parties, and I have all of these pretty dishes. And so, oh my goodness, she just happened to know about a home organization that helps abused women. And they have to take a class or course or training or whatever, and they have to pass it. And they have to graduate from it. And then when they do, this organization helps them get housing and gets them the things that they need. So, they take dishes, they take clothing, and just whatever you have. Furniture, oh yes. So, oh my goodness, she was up on the ladder, way up high. I have this real high shelf in my closet. We got up there and started taking dishes down. Oh my goodness, you never saw so much dirt. It looked like I had velvet dishes. She said, Joy, when's the last time you cleaned up here? I said, how long have we lived in this house? So that all came down, and then we cleaned up there really, really good. And I washed all, I just didn't give them to her to take to that place dirty. I washed all of them. Washed them and dried them, and we packed them real nice. So her car was absolutely full. The back seat, the front seat, the floor, everything, with the things that we got done yesterday. So I was real excited. I just love to give things to the Lord so He can help people. I used to be a divorced woman whose husband ran off with other girls that did drugs, and he did drugs with them. And one of them told me one time they were getting married. I said, that girl told me you're going to marry her. You know, I don't know where she got that idea. I saw him once in a while, you know, through my life later. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I've gotten done. I didn't do anything yesterday except, you know, Doreen and I up and down ladders and packing boxes. So This is how much I have done of my schoolhouse and my stars. Aren't they cute? I have to have a total of 16. And what do I have here? 6. So I only have 10 more to make. So these little quilts are so much fun because you can get them done so fast. You know what would be fun if you're not a quilter and you wanted to take up the hobby? It would be lots of fun to start doing little quilts. And I'm sure you've got someplace in your house you can hang a little quilt, and you could start by doing seasons. You know, I did edit a season quilt, and there was a different block for every month of the year. And if you made those up as little quilts, you could change them all through the year. You could do placemats. You can do bedding. You can make a lot of things besides a quilt. You can take a great big piece of material, all the same print, beautiful roses or whatever, and quilt it and bind it and make it a bedspread. I've done that several times. So lots of ways you can quilt without really being a quilter. And it is so satisfying. I just wanted to show you that. And then this morning, all morning, and another afternoon, I worked on this final row of Edida's Season in Blue, block of the month. And you have to cut all these extra strips and put them in this one row here. I had the hardest time. I had to make all 3 trees. No, that tree was okay, but I had to make these 3 trees over again because none of them measured 11.5. I was so upset about that. And then when I put this piece in here, it was supposed to measure a certain measurement going across. I don't remember what the measurement was, but I was a 1/2 inch short. So I ended up having to cut this piece out, make it a 1/2 inch wider. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I worked on this and worked on it and worked on it. But you want to see what it's going to look like? I know a lot of you aren't doing this. Probably none of you are doing it. But this is what that row's going to look like when it's done. It's going to have all this applique on it. And of course, Edida didn't tell us it was going to have that applique, and so none of us have the applique, and we have to wait for it to come. I ordered it, and I'm waiting for it to come. It takes a long time to get stuff from her, too. I don't know why. I know she has lots of employees. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. You want to see it? It's on the floor. I have so many projects going about all the room I have left in here is the floor, and I'm fixing to take it off the floor because I'm getting ready to vacuum the floor before it looks like a hen house here covered with hay. Or who lives in the hay? Do cows live in the hay? Who lives in the hay in the barn? I don't know. I've seen people in it. Anyway, it's going to look like that if I don't get the floor vacuumed. Let me take the camera off and I'll show you what I have done of this row so far. Season in Blue, and she says this is the middle row. The middle. So that's what I have so far. Good morning, my friends. It's Tuesday. Let me see, what is it, the 23rd? 21, 22, no, I think it's the 24th. Don't hold me to it, but I think it's October 24 now, 2023. And this is, I think I'm continuing a snippet thing here. I don't know for sure what I said before, what I showed you before. It's been several days. I was gone all day yesterday with Jerry. We had to go to Texas, to Sherman, Denison actually, for him to have a stress test. And it took, you know, almost a whole day to get there, have it done, get back. So that day was shot. Sunday, we spent, an hour at least making shine. And right near the end, the camera went black. The viewfinder went black. And the camera died. And we had a full battery in it. And so I went and I opened it up. I said, we're going to have to say goodbye again. So I opened it up. And it said, do you want to recover the last whatever? And I said, yes. And so, I don't know what happened, but our entire shine disappeared. And it was a good one. I think we were on Proverbs 28. And we had a good discussion and we really liked it. But, you know, we didn't want to start all over again. So if you'll bear with us, we'll do it again this next Sunday. Because it was just, you know, you can't do it twice. You can do it once, and it's, what do I want to say? It's not rehearsed, it's not planned, it's not like we're reading or something, if you do it again, you're trying to think of what you said the first time, and you'll just screw it all up. So try us again next Sunday on Shine, okay? So I've been working with my new. It was a learning curve, and let me tell you, it's a square ruler, but it is a learning curve, big time. The first set that I cut was such a mess. This is a little quilt, but what I cut up wouldn't have fit on a gnat's tail. This just doesn't look right. So I have figured it out now. So I've got my ruler marked, and I'm going to cut out another star. I'm making stars. This is my new little quilt. This is the one that edited SITEWIDE. The pattern, it's not her pattern, but it's like her pattern for her little quilt for October. And I really liked it. So I decided to go in electric quilt, and I figured out that's where she goes, because I made the exact same pattern. Now she may have better instructions. You may not have to have this ruler to do it her way, to make all of the flying geese. But I was watching somebody somewhere, and they said, who was it? It was the Fat Quarter Shop. And she was showing 3 different ways to make the flying geese. And she had a ruler that was much, much smaller, and it just did the particular size she was making. This ruler makes all different kinds of sizes. It makes 1.5 by 1, 1 by 2, 1.5 by 3, 2 by 4, 2.5 by 5, 3 by 6, 3.5 by 7, and 4 by 8. That's a lot in one ruler, my friends. I got it on Amazon, and it's in my store, under quilting probably, and you can find it there. But let me show you how to use it, because it takes a younger brain, I suppose. Let me get set up, and I'll be back. To tell you how big to cut your pieces. See the pieces up here? This is an awesome ruler. I don't know if this will help or make it worse. I think that makes it worse. Anyway, there's a little place right here that gives you directions on what size to cut your squares, and it shows you how many you have to sew and how you're going to sew it together just for this part, the triangles that go around. So between this ruler and electric quilt, I figured it all out. That I had to cut this middle, and I colored it so I would know which pieces I cut in color and which pieces I cut in white. And so I wrote down here I need 1 of that measurement, I need 4 colored of that measurement, and I need 4 white of this measurement. I've got the center square color, I've got the points color, and I've got the white corners. Now, where do I figure out this piece? So it says that the center that you're going to cut is 3 3/4. That's what this is, the white one, okay? This is to make your flying geese with, this and these other squares. See, this is rotary cutting here. This came off of the pattern on electric quilt also, and it shows you what to cut. And so here is that big one, the piece in the center, and it says to cut it 2.5 inches, and it shows it is a print. So it shows what the white is, and it shows what the print is. It's an awesome program, you guys. I still haven't gotten my my affiliate link. I don't know if they lost me or they don't care or what. If you want it, go ahead and buy it, my friends. I just love these Quilter Select rulers. I don't know how many I have, but they just are so good. They don't move at all. You don't have to press, you know, a ton of pressure on them. This ruler has non-grip things, but it slides. And it does not hold near as good as these do because it just has the grippy things on the edges. I don't know why they didn't put the grippy things the whole way, but anyway, wonderful ruler. I bought it. I'd say yes, buy it, but just remember, you have to hold it harder than you have to hold the Quilter Select. All right, so let's make a star. You want to make a star? Of course you do. And this is all I have left. I have 4 left, but I made one just a little bit different color because I decided I just wanted one that was a little different color. No rhyme, no reason. So let me show you what you do. You don't use this ruler yet. You don't use this until you make this rectangle, this rectangle, this rectangle, and this rectangle. Then you bring those 4 pieces over here. Then you use this, okay? So let's go put this together. You want to come with me? Right over there. All right, if I have pink all over my face, it's because I just wiped the sweat off my lip with these gloves. These are my grippy gloves. So I have my 1/4" foot on, and I move the needle over 1 time because it just comes out better that way if I do. So we're going to start out with our white piece. This is not the center of the star. No, the center of the star is the print. This is what we're going to make all 4 flying geese out of. I don't know how it works, but it does. Okay, so you have to take your 4 squares and you have to draw your line. So again, get you a good ruler you can trust. A good ruler. Mine are Quilter Select. They don't move, and of course you can see I have them in a whole bunch of sizes. I just love these rulers. I have others that have grippy stuff, but to me, these just are grippier. I think I just made up a new word, y'all. These are grippier. So draw your line. Now if you have a tape, a line here, I do use it that way, but since I'm only making this one right now, and I only have a few more to make, I didn't go to the trouble of putting that line down there with the masking tape. Alrighty, you take your 4 little squares. You've got 1 big square. Remember, you got 1 that's bigger. That's the center of your star. It's like a 1/4 inch bigger. It's not a lot bigger. So now, you take your white. In this case, you take your little colored corner and you put it on here and you line it up. I have actually done this without even pinning it. Now, I would not suggest that you do that if you haven't done this before. I'll show you in a second. I am going to, I've got my line, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch on this side of it and a 1/4 inch on this side of it. I'm not sewing on the line. I'm sewing a 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to take this one, I've got that on the corner on the top, I'm going to put this on the corner on the bottom. Lining it up on the sides, very easy. And why doesn't that line up? This one must not be cut right because it's not lining up. Let's try this again with the right size square. You know, don't give up. You will get frustrated. Things will go wrong. Like that. It just drug the tail behind. What did it do that for? Keep on keeping on because good. This is how we learn. Isn't this how we learn our whole life? Is by making mistakes. Put your needle down position. There's a little string hanging up on the foot there. Okay, now you stay. You stay. All right. So I have sewn down the one side of those 2 squares. Now here's another boo-boo. It crunched up right there because a little hanging string from the square hung up on the foot. So what am I going to do about that? I'm just going to sew it again. Hold your starting strings so they don't get tied up in what you're doing. Now, when you move your needle, one way or the other, when you're doing this on these lines, you have to be sure you're always sewing with the right side of the foot or the left, whichever way you move your needle, against the line. Otherwise, it's going to be all messed up because of that. So I'm going to put my needle against the line, go this way again, and try to straighten out that little notch it made. Perfect. There we go. This is my Virtuosa 155 that I bought years ago from a Bernina store in Frisco, Texas. Isn't that a fun name? You know, there's 2 more of these we have to put on, but we're not going to put them on yet. Let me show you what we're going to do. This is easy. It seems complicated at first, but it's really not. So this is my white. Now fortunately the white's the same on both sides, but you put right sides together. There's my line down the middle of both those squares, and I have sewn 1/4 inch on each side, a narrow 1/4 inch. So what you do now is you go and you cut this on the line that you drew. I'm going to cut it right in half, and then we're going to have 2 of these, and then we're going to make the rest of our, I don't know how this really works, but it does. It is really cool. Stay with me. See? Now I have 2 of these. And somehow you end up with 4. I don't know how it works, but I'm going to show you. I'm just going to go iron these. I'm going to push this up and this up toward the white. And I'm going to press it, and this up, press it toward the white, and then I'll be back. So now what you have is 2 hearts. See? 1, 2. I don't know how this works, but it does. Somebody figured this out. Somebody way, way, way smarter than me, I guarantee you. So you're going to take, you got 2 more squares. Remember, you had 4 of them. So you're going to place this one, and you can see this. If you go to Fat Quarter Shop, I think her name's Kimberly, you can watch her do it. Now she pins, and I probably should. Pin this, pin this. You want to make sure it sews right down the center. All right? See? So now I'm going to sew on both sides of the center line on this new patch. I'm going to sew on both sides of that line. This is so cool. It's like a miracle. I just love it when people invent things that make your hobby easier. Now, you know, I've got 4 more to do, and I'll do those all together, but I'm just doing this one to show y'all how to use that ruler. All right, so I've sewn on, oh, I have 2 of them, Earth to Joy. Get the other one. Be sure you don't get your center. Your center is a different size, so don't get your center here. Oh, our weather has been cooler. It's cooler and hotter and cooler and hotter. We got a dab of rain yesterday, and we need a whole lot more than a dab. We have a place here called Catfish Bay, and we go over the bridge there every time we go somewhere, and there's a dock there, and the dock is lying all cockeyed on dry ground. The lake is so low. I don't know if I've ever seen it any lower. Okay, so I will show you this now. 2. So you have 2. You're going to end up with 4, I promise. But you've only got 2 right now. So this is the back, and this is the front. And I've just sewn on this square. Oh, and that one I didn't get on the other side. Earth to Joy. Let me sew. And I've sewn on both sides of the line again. You know, it's better if you get your act together and you do them all at once. You know, the assembly line, but I don't want you to have to wait that long. All right, so what do we do now? We've got our 2 hearts. We're going to go and we're going to cut on that line again. And so you can just see now that when I cut down the center here and here, I'm going to have 4. This will be 2, and this will be 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Well, let me go do it. So check it out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 flying geese. The only problem is they're way, way off being the right size. So let's go over to the table and I'll show you how to use that ruler. So now we have 4 flying geese that need to be trimmed because they're all the wrong size. The secret of this ruler is it has you make them bigger than they need to be, because then you can trim them to be perfect. So there's the 4 flying geese, all the wrong size. There's the back side. 4 of them. So now you're going to take your ruler. Now let me tell you what I learned. I marked, there is a number 1. Up here it says trim 1, and down here it says trim 2. So you're going to have 2 trims. 2 trims. I turned the ruler around and couldn't figure out what was where. So I put some of that tape on mine, and I put a giant 1 here, and I put a giant 2 here, just to save me time so I could do it faster. So you're going to start out with number 1, obviously. So put number 1 up. Then you are going to start out with the points going up. The points have to point up. Up, 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 up. I was wishing that it had a 7 in it so I could say 7 up. 4 up. Say 4 up. All right? Number 1 is 4 up. Number 1 is 4 up. If you cut it the wrong way, you're going to end up with the kind of patch I had the first time that would fit on a gnat's tail. So we don't want to do that. So say 4 up. Number 1 is 4 up. If you can think of a better thing to say. You see the white line that has my tape next to it? That's for a 1x2 finished flying geese. Well, before you sew it in. 1x2. So we're going to use those lines. And you see how the point goes up? We're going to put this point in the point. We're going to take number 1 and we're going to put point B. They have letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G up through H. We're going to use B. It's the second one because that's the right size. And we're going to line that corner up with the white point. All right? Then we're going to cut. The ruler is going to look like, oh my gosh, this is so crooked it could never come out right. Okay, so that's the first cut. We still have to cut, obviously, this side and this side. That's for number 2. Number 1 is point up. Number 2 is point down. So put point down after you get through with point up. All right? I hope that makes sense. Cut it. You're going to think, oh my gosh, am I supposed to cut that much off? Yes, you are. There's number 2. That was point up. I know it looks crazy. We're going to put it point down. Now, I hope I'm saying the right number. That was number 1. Number 1, number 1, number 1. We're putting the point right in the point. Cut, cut. Turn it upside down. Number 1, point up. Line number 1 in where the white meets the blue. Okay? You got a corner in there. So it's going right up against where the white meets the blue. There you go. So now we're going to put the points down. Okay? All the points are going to go down. Down, 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 down. And we're going to turn the ruler around to the other corner. And we're going to do number 2. Number 2 requires the geese to have the point going down. 2 downs. Second down. Think of a football game. It's the second down. Oh, and we're going to still use B. And we're going to slide it in here. It's kind of hard to see the white against the white. But you can. You're going to see how much difference this looks. You got to line it up with the bottom here. Then you put your point in there. And you cut. And you cut. Cutting quite a lot off. They have you make it quite a bit bigger, which of course is good. So look. Look at how much smaller that is. Isn't that tiny? See, this is before it's all cut. It's quite a bit smaller than what we started with. It's just so cute. It is just so stinking cute! Let's take these 4 baby geese and go over to the sewing machine. I'll show you how you sew the star together, just in case you're interested. Probably most of you could show me how to sew flying geese. Okay, we're coming back over here to my Virtuosa 155. Why? Just because that's what I started sewing on, so I'm going to keep sewing on it. You know, I have a lot of sewing machines and I love them all. But for quilting, I kind of like the simpler ones, to tell you the truth. Okay, let me set the camera up real close so you can see how to put this darling little block together. Alright, so I still have my needle over one place. I have the center square and I have the white corners. Alright? And I've got my 4 flying geese. Let me see, does it help if that's on or help if it's off? I think it helps if it's off. We'll see. You tell me. So we're going to take our flying geese, and you can certainly assembly line this, and we're going to sew one of these squares to both sides of 2 flying geese. 2. That's 1. This is 2. That doesn't look like it's cut perfect, but it's close. There's 2. Now, we're going to take our square. We got 2 more flying geese, remember. Make sure the point points to the center. Don't sew it on this way. You won't have a star. You'll have something, but it won't be a star. Be sure the point points to what you're fixing to sew it to. Alrighty? Get it lined up real good in the center. Here's the other one. So this is going to go here. Going to go here. Fold it over. I like to sew over these seams going down if I can. And then you got 2 more little squares because they go on the other side of the other 2 geese. I'm sure you can understand. Okay, last little square. Here we are. We got 2 geese here, and then we have these 2 geese that go on. The other 2 geese go here and here. See? Is that awesome? Don't you just love that ruler? Ah, it works so good. All right, now I don't go press this part usually. If I had all of them sewn together here, I'd probably take them all over there and press them, but I'm going to finger press. And I'm finger pressing this to the white, and I'm finger pressing this to the white, and I'm finger pressing this to the white. I'm finger pressing this to the white. Now I do like to pin this part because you've got your interlocking seams. So you want to interlock your seams and put a pin there. Do that. Because when you're sewing, you know, it wants to move everything. Don't sew over pins. Whatever you do, it's very bad. You're not supposed to do it. Let's see how good I did matching those seams. Oh my goodness, I did perfect. Look. So, are you impressed? Is that the cutest of all cute things? So, in case you're new, if you are, hi. This is what I'm making. It's a little quilt. And it's a design Ed and Sitar did, and I copied it using EQ8. I think my chimneys are a little higher or a little shorter or something. Because I made this piece and this piece the same. I think her pieces are different sizes, but that's okay with me. And if any of you found copyright regulations for doing it, please let me know where you found them, because I haven't heard of any, and I can't imagine how EQ8 could even put out their software if it was illegal to copy the same quilt somebody else made. I mean, that's the whole idea of it, isn't it? Well, not totally. You can invent something new that doesn't exist. So here is what I'm making. Here is the star you just saw me put together using this ruler. This ruler has a name. It's called Ultimate Flying Geese Tool. Ultimate Flying Geese Tool. It's in my Amazon store, and the ruler is a Creative Grids ruler. It's awesome. Now you can buy rulers that just do one size of flying geese, but why do that when this makes so many sizes? So this is going to go up here. Let's get a pin. And let's put that right there. Can't wait to sew this together for real. Look at that. Total cuteness of all time. We're interrupting this broadcast to see what's in this box. Yes, I bought these little thingamabobs for my phone because I never can make it stand up. And when I'm wanting to look at it in a restaurant or the doctor's office or something, I always have to hold it. So look at these cute little things. I don't know how they stay on. They must have some glue. But you can stand it up or you can hold it. You all probably have one. Probably the whole world has one or something better. And my phone's over there, so we'll play with those after a while. It's called Sketch Map. Ring holder, kickstand, safe and secure grip, widely compatible, sturdy adhesive, 360 degrees rotation, and 180 degree foldable. First, wipe the mounting surface and remove the transparent protective film. Then slowly press the phone ring down. Oh yes, and get the black out of your fingernails. Pardon the black marker on my fingernails. I promise I wash them every day. I don't know what that is. But I got a notice on my phone that I had a package, and so I had to go see if it was for me or Burnside's. And it was for me, and it's from Laundry Basket Quilts. Now I know what part of it is. You know, I stopped my subscription to the little quilt club. Number one, I just think it's too expensive, 70 bucks. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep on buying edited sitar's fabric. How do you make this go back in? Oh, Jerry, Joy's got a knife. All right, I remember ordering something. I had to get these silhouettes for my season in blue block of the month. So long. These are expensive, $39 I think. So I've got leaves and circles. Oh, perfect union silhouettes, look. It's these. That's what they are, 75 fabric shapes. So these are really, really handy. You know, they've already got the sticky stuff on them. So I've got my block all ready. I showed it to you. I think I already showed it to you. It's hanging over there, and so I will get these put on it. That's another project I need to get done. Let's see what else I ordered. I'm sure she wasn't too depressed that I unsubscribed from her little quilt club because I spent $219 here. And I don't know what I got. It's expensive though. Oh, it's so expensive. Each one of these is $45. Neutrals, greens, so pretty. You don't know what you're going to get. She said they're all different and they decide what to put in them. I don't remember that being her fabric at all. Those are some pretty greens though. And some real pretty neutrals too, although I don't consider that great big floral a neutral. So I've got blue, fall, green, and light. So this would be light. This would be green. The applique things are perfect union silhouettes. I wonder what this is. This must be fall. Is purple fall, y'all? Fall, y'all? I don't know. But these are pretty. And then blues. I probably got every single one of these blues already. 12 quarter yard cuts. So it's not a fat quarter. 12 quarter yards, 12 quarter yards. 9 inches by 40. Oh, so it's not a fat quarter. I thought these were 1/8 bundles, but they're quarters. This is 12 quarter yard cuts, 9 by 40 and 9 by 40. So, nice. You know, like I need more edited sitar fabric. I'm sure y'all have seen this table over here. It's all edited sitar fabric, the whole table. So that was a fun box, wasn't it? Good morning. It is Thursday, October 26th. Why is she acting so weird, George? Life gets in the way, doesn't it? Well, I had a private message saying I needed to do something about my hair. I needed to brush my hair a different way to cover up the balding spots in the back of my hair. I was just absolutely blown away, shocked. You know, I know this. I already know this. And the thing is, okay, so now I just now combed it. So see, do you see any bald spots? But see what happens is I go to lunch. And I live in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, the wind always blows. And so my hair just blows everywhere like Einstein. I come back in the house and I just brush it lightly with my hands and I forget that it's not going to look right on camera. And I have been looking for a real light topper because my issues are just, you know, right here and right here. And I've been looking for a little wiglet for years, Godiva's Secret Wigs, and there's I don't know how many hundreds of different places. But the thing is, if you order one and you don't like it, they charge you 20% restocking fee. Well, I'm not going to pay that. So, and my husband, every time he sees me on my computer looking at wigs, I don't want you to have a wig, I don't want you to wear a wig. Please don't buy a wig. So, you know, I ordered it first. Some of you may remember the brush and the little jar was very, very little. Has like a 1/4 of an ounce of powder in it. And so you put your brush in and you dab your hair with it. I like that pretty good. But it was gone in like 2 weeks. So the jar is like this deep, but the powder in it's like 1/8 of an inch. I mean, what a ripoff. So I really liked it, but I had to keep buying more and more. So I went to buy some more after I got this private message. I thought, oh, maybe I need to put more on. And I noticed that this same company sells, it's a jar probably as big as this roller, maybe a little bit bigger. And it has like dark brown powder in it. And so you unscrew the top and you shake the powder. So I just got it. It's like, today's like the second time I've used it. So I took my shower. And you know, I use that stuff called It Stays to glue my bra straps up because I can't stand pulling my bra straps up 5,000 times a day. And they stay up fine when I'm standing up, and when I sit down, they just want to fall down. So I put on my It Stays on my shoulders, glued my bra straps down, and I had my panties on. And so then I started fixing my hair. And I take the powder and I shake, 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 and rub, rub, rub. And then back here, shake, 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 rub, rub, rub. Shake, 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 rub, rub, rub. And I didn't have my contacts in yet. So I went into my full-length mirror in my closet where my clothes are. And I turned on the lights and I took my mirror and I looked at the back of my hair. And remember, I'm just in my bra. And the whole, I need my pointer. You know, I bought a pointer one time. Does anybody know what I did with it? This is not it. This is a knitting needle. So I look in the mirror and the whole back of me is dark brown. My bra straps are dark brown. My shoulders are dark brown. Probably the rug. I've decided I'm going to have to paint my bathroom and my sinks dark brown. Jerry's going to have a fit. Thank goodness he wasn't here. I'm telling you, being in your 70s isn't going to be a fun time either. 60s wasn't the greatest, you know, with the aging going on, but the 70s, my eyebrows are getting grayer and grayer, and I keep pulling out the gray ones, and so if I keep doing that, I'm not going to have any eyebrows at all. And my hair, but you know, compared to the other ladies who are buying wigs, I have a lot of hair, and I thank God for every strand of it in my head. Some of these ladies, some have alopecia, don't have any eyebrows or any hair, and others lose, like, and they're young. Goodness, 25, 30, young, and they've lost almost half of their hair all over their head. So I'm thankful that I have as much as I have. And I just want you to know, if you see if I have brown cheeks or brown elbows or anything like that, please just overlook it. Don't private message me. So other than that, I worked and worked and worked and worked on my little house yesterday. I found out that the little house did not turn out the same length as the little stars. Now, I don't know why that is, but I decided that what you have to do in a case like this, and real big quilts, I never put pieced borders for that very reason. I'm like, what if the star doesn't end up in the right place and I have to cut the points off the stars? Because you can't sew them together any closer. I mean, once they're touching, that's it. So I took off the sashings all around the house or the church, whatever it is, and I just sewed longer pieces on all around. So you can see it sticks out here, it's longer, and it sticks out here, it's longer. See? And then I decided I would find the center of the church, sew my stars on. You can see they're only pinned now. And then pray and hold my breath that the two other borders are going to land on here and fit. So this is what I'm up to. I don't have it done yet, but I am liking it very, very much. I think it's super cute and super different. And my friend Avondra texted me last night and said, are you making the Tahoe quilt with Edita? And I said, no, I am not that much of a glutton for punishment, thank you very much. I already have her mystery quilt that's made the same way with the great big triangles. It has a total of 8 triangles. I have 3 of them done. So, no, I'm going to stick with little and easy. Although this one was not very easy. These, what are the geese called? The flying geese. It is hard to get those perfect. It is, although I think they turned out the best I could possibly get them with my new flying geese ruler, which has left the building. Where do these things go, you guys? I mean, you go to bed at night, you turn off the lights, you go downstairs, you come back up here and you can't find anything. Here it is. Remember my 1? This corner is the number 1, this corner is the number 2. And you don't do anything with the other corners. This one tells you what size to cut your squares to end up with the size of the geese that you want. See, so for mine, for the 1x2, my big white square, well, yeah, the white one was 3 3/4, and then I cut 4 2 1/4. And that's all you have to do. And that ends up with 4 flying geese. Amazing. Yes, there's waste, but you know, I am not so poor that I need to worry about wasting a 1/4 inch strip of material. I know some people are really into saving every little scrap of fabric, but that's not me. I mean, look here. Am I going to save that? No, I'm not. Am I going to save big pieces? Yes. This is full of big pieces. I'm going to make, what do you call those things? Crumb quilts. I'm going to make crumb blocks with my big pieces, but I'm not saving that little bitty stuff. And what you cut off of these flying geese rectangles, it's too little to save, in my opinion. But some of you may want to make a flying geese that has absolutely no waste. If that's the case, y'all go for it, okay? You do, you. All right, I spent 6 hours, 8 hours. I think it was the day before I spent all day on this. Yesterday I didn't do it because we had to go get Jerry's drugs in town, and then we went to a place that sometimes it's good and sometimes it's horrid, and yesterday it was horrid to have lunch, and came back, and I've had tons of trouble with my iPad. I have this really cute iPad. I bought it in 2017. Jerry bought it for my birthday. But I can't get my email on it. And I can't see y'all's comments on it. It's just totally clogged up. And so I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours trying to learn this new device and how to get all the pictures off there to make enough room. And so now all the pictures are gone, but it shows that they're still there and it's still clogging it up. So I think I have to go to the cloud. It was my understanding that if you delete them on your iPad, they go away in the cloud. But evidently if they're in the cloud, and only God knows what cloud and where and who owns it and who can see it, if they're in the cloud, they're still on your computer. So maybe you have to delete them in the cloud. If y'all are super brains like my friend Becky, I doubt Becky watches me. She doesn't have time to turn around. She's making a video every day of her life. But let me know if you know how I can make the pictures go away and open up all that space, because there's supposed to be a new update or something, and I can't. It says you don't have enough room, and my email and my comments won't work until I put that update in. Computers. I thought these iPads were supposed to be super amazing and wonderful. I may need to just, I said, how can I get more? Oh my goodness. I called Apple. I didn't call them. I went to Apple support. Texted this girl named Cassandra, I think her name was. I had a hard time dealing with her because she couldn't spell, and her English was terrible. But it was American English. I asked her over, and I was on the phone over an hour with her. Not on the phone, but on the computer texting. A chat. And I kept saying, how can I get more storage on my iPad? How can I get more storage on my iPad? And she kept telling me about the cloud. The cloud does this, and the cloud does that. You need to put this in the cloud, and put that in the cloud, and do this, do this, do this. She just, finally, she just disappeared. And somebody named Rodriguez came, I don't remember his first name, Rodriguez, and he started talking to me, and I said, this is very simple. All I want to know is, how do I get more storage, not in the cloud, I don't care about the cloud, how do I get more storage in my iPad? And guess what he said? Y'all know what his answer was? Although, praise the Lord, he told me the answer. But the answer is you have to buy a new iPad. Wouldn't you know? Those things cost a fortune too. So that was my yesterday. So today, I'm going to get this done while Jerry's at physical therapy. And then I'll come back and show it to you. If I do get it done and get it sandwiched, I promised I would show you how I quilt this stuff on the long arm. So get ready for that. It's 4 o'clock a Thursday, and so I'm not going to get this on the long arm today, but I just came by to show you real fast. I finally got it all put together. So here it is, my copy of Edita Sitar's little quilt for October 2023. Her idea, she came up with it. I used Electric Quilt 8 software to make one like it. I'm sure mine is not exactly the same. For someone who said, you better make yours different, I bet anything, and somebody tell me if you get her little quilts, I bet anything hers has no Y seams. So I'm going to let you go for this video because it's plenty long enough already, and I'll be back when I start quilting this little house, church, whatever it is, on my long arm. Bye for now.